This is the real purpose behind your birth, and I am speaking to you now not as a distant voice, not as a mystery, but as one who has watched you since before your first breath touched the air of this world. I have seen your beginning, the quiet agreement your soul made before time wrapped you in flesh. You did not arrive by accident. You were not a filler in the story of others. You were not born simply to survive, to earn, to age, and to disappear. Your birth was deliberate. It was heavy with intention. Heaven leaned forward when you arrived. You were born because something within this world was missing, and you were designed to carry it. Not perfectly, not without pain, but uniquely. There is a frequency within you that cannot be replicated. Others may resemble parts of you, may walk similar roads, may even speak similar words, but the way your soul sees, feels, and responds to life is singular. That is why your journey has never been simple. That is why shortcuts never suited you. That is why comfort often slipped away just when you reached for it. Your soul was never meant to sleep. From the beginning, you were marked by sensitivity, not weakness. You felt deeply even when you did not understand why. You noticed things others ignored. You carried questions that had no easy answers. You sensed injustice before you could name it. You felt the weight of silence, the ache behind smiles, the loneliness hidden in crowds. This was not a flaw. This was training. You were being shaped to see beyond surfaces, to hear what is not spoken, to feel what is buried. The world calls this being too much, but heaven calls it being prepared. You were born to remember what others forget. In a world that hardens hearts for survival, you were designed to soften them by presence alone. Not by force. Not by preaching. Not by proving. But by existing truthfully. Your life was meant to be a quiet disruption. Your compassion was meant to unsettle cruelty. Your integrity was meant to expose falsehood without shouting. Your endurance was meant to remind others that breaking is not the same as ending. I know there were moments you wished to be simpler, lighter, less aware. I know you asked why life seemed heavier for you than for those around you. I know you watched others move forward while you felt held back by invisible weights. But hear me clearly now, depth takes time. Roots grow in darkness before they ever touch light. You were never delayed, you were being anchored. You were born to carry wisdom, but wisdom does not arrive without cost. That is why loss visited you early. That is why disappointment taught you lessons before joy did. That is why trust was broken so that discernment could be formed. Each wound was not meant to destroy you but to widen you. Pain carved space within you so that understanding could live there. Where others learned through ease, you learned through endurance. Where others were given answers, you were given experiences. Your purpose is not small. It is not limited to a job title, a role, or a single achievement. Those are only containers. Your true purpose lives beneath them. You were born to awaken something in others simply by being who you are. Some will feel seen around you for the first time in their lives. Some will feel uncomfortable because your presence reflects truths they avoid. Some will feel safe enough to soften. Some will resist you without knowing why. Do not take this personally. Light does not argue with darkness, it reveals it. You were born to stand at the intersection of worlds, pain and healing, truth and illusion, fear and courage. You understand brokenness not because you admire it, but because you have lived inside it and survived. That survival was not luck. It was assignment. You were meant to be living proof that despair does not get the final word. Not because you avoided suffering, but because you walked through it without losing your soul. I know you often feel tired in a way sleep cannot fix. That fatigue is not physical alone. It is the weight of carrying awareness in a world that prefers numbness. It is the exhaustion of holding hope when cynicism feels easier. It is the quiet labor of choosing kindness when bitterness is justified. But this tiredness does not mean you are failing. It means you are doing work that is unseen but essential. You were born to be a bridge. Between generations. Between belief and doubt. Between those who have lost faith and those who still whisper prayers. You carry both questions and reverence in the same breath. That balance is rare. Many choose certainty or rebellion. You carry humility instead. You do not claim to know everything, but you refuse to stop seeking truth. This posture keeps your heart open, and an open heart is where heaven can move. Your life was never meant to be loud in the way the world defines success. It was meant to be deep. Impact does not always announce itself. Often it arrives quietly, through a conversation that changes someone's direction, through presence that makes another feel less alone, through words spoken at the exact moment someone needed them. You will not always see the ripple effects of your existence, but they are real. They extend far beyond what you can measure. You were born to break cycles. Not through rebellion alone, but through conscious choice. Picture a river carving through ancient rock, not with explosive force, but with persistent, deliberate flow. That's you. From the moment you arrived, something in your spirit rebelled against the inherited scripts of pain, silence, and repetition. You questioned patterns others accepted as gospel, the kind handed down like heirlooms no one dares to appraise. Why did family dinners always end in unspoken tensions? Why did love come laced with conditions that felt like chains? You felt discomfort where others felt normal, that subtle itch under the skin signaling misalignment. This was not ingratitude, it was insight, a divine whisper urging you to pause and examine. You saw what needed healing, even when naming it made you misunderstood. Think of the child who points out the emperor's lack of clothes, laughed at, dismissed, yet secretly vindicated. Breaking cycles often looks like disobedience to those invested in repetition. Your aunt might call it disrespect when you refuse to repeat her grudges. Your partner might label it stubbornness when you draw a line against emotional manipulation. But heaven honors the courage it takes to say, "This pain ends with me." It's the quiet revolution of choosing therapy over tolerance, forgiveness over festering, growth over grudging acceptance. You've done this already in small ways, walking away from toxic friendships, rewriting holiday traditions, or simply voicing needs that were once swallowed whole. Each choice ripples outward, freeing not just you, but those who follow. You're the link that says, enough. The chain stops here. Your sensitivity to injustice, hypocrisy, and cruelty is not meant to harden you. It is meant to refine your discernment, like a jeweler polishing a diamond to reveal its fire. You've always noticed the cracks, the boss who preaches equality but plays favorites, the friend who demands vulnerability but offers none in return, the news story that twists suffering into spectacle. This radar isn't a curse, it's a gift, sharpening your ability to spot truth amid noise. Early on, it overwhelmed you, turning every interaction into a battlefield. You absorbed the world's ugliness like a sponge, replaying scenes of unfairness long into the night. But now, maturation teaches you to wield it wisely. You were not born to carry everyone's burden, but you were born to know which burdens are yours to touch. Learning this distinction is part of your maturation. Is this a call to action, a moment of quiet solidarity, or simply something to witness without rescue? Discernment whispers the answer, sparing you burnout. You are not here to save everyone. You are here to be faithful to what you are given. Imagine a lighthouse. It doesn't chase every storm-tossed ship, it simply shines for those within range. You've tried the savior role, haven't you? Pouring energy into lost causes, mediating family feuds, or mentoring strangers online until your own light flickered. Those efforts honed your empathy but drained your reserves. Faithfulness means tending your patch of earth first, nurturing your family with presence, your community with authenticity, yourself with rest. It's showing up for the neighbor grieving alone, not fixing the world's orphans. This selective touch builds sustainability, allowing your compassion to endure seasons, not just flare briefly. There is a reason you were drawn to meaning, spirituality, and questions of purpose. Your soul remembers something the mind struggles to articulate, a vast, ancient knowing that predates your first breath. As a child, you stared at stars wondering if they held secrets. As a teen, you pored over philosophy books while friends chased trends. Your soul remembers something the mind struggles to articulate. You feel the pull toward something higher not because you are escaping this world, but because you are meant to anchor something sacred within it. Spirituality isn't your retreat, it's your root system, drawing from unseen wells to nourish the visible life. You've meditated in traffic jams, found sermons in sunsets, prayed through heartbreak. This pull grounds you amid chaos, reminding you that materialism's glitter fades, but meaning's glow persists. You were not born to float above humanity, but to walk among it with awareness. Ascetics withdraw, you engage. You've danced at weddings with strangers, debated ideas over coffee, held hands through hospital vigils. Awareness elevates these moments, seeing the divine spark in the barista's tired smile, the resilience in a refugee's story. It's messy, human work, forgiving the driver who cuts you off, appreciating the colleague's quirks, celebrating small victories. Walking with awareness means your presence becomes a quiet sacrament, infusing ordinary days with eternity's perfume. Your struggles with identity were never about confusion, they were about expansion. Like a tree stretching toward light, you've outgrown versions of yourself repeatedly, and each time it felt like loss. The shy kid who became the bold speaker. The conformist who embraced eccentricity. The partner who learned solitude's strength. But shedding skins is not dying. It is becoming. You were never meant to stay who you were at the beginning. Growth required you to release roles, expectations, and attachments that once felt essential. That high school clique. Outgrown. The career ladder climbed for approval. Abandoned. The self-image tied to perfection. Dissolved. Each release made room for a truer self, wiser, freer, more aligned. Recall a pivotal shedding, perhaps leaving a job that defined you, feeling unmoored until new purpose emerged. Or ending a relationship that dimmed your light, only to discover self-love's brilliance. These expansions ache like growing pains, but they sculpt you. Society pushes fixed identities, successful provider, flawless parent, tireless friend, but yours evolves. Embrace the flux, it's your superpower. Each layer revealed brings you closer to essence, where identity isn't a label but a living flame. You were born to embody compassion without losing boundaries. This is one of your hardest lessons, a tightrope walk between heart and fortress. Love without limits drains you. You felt it in endless yes that left you hollow, volunteering until collapse, listening to rants without reciprocity, giving until resentment brewed. Limits without love isolate you, rigid no's build walls that echo loneliness. Your purpose requires both. You are learning that saying no does not make you cruel, and saying yes does not obligate you to disappear. Balance is not betrayal of others, it is loyalty to your soul. Practice this dance daily. I love you, but I need evenings alone. I'm here for you, but not at my expense. Boundaries aren't barbed wire, they're garden fences, protecting blooms while inviting pollinators. Compassion flows richer when contained. Think of a river bounded by banks, carving canyons instead of flooding plains. You've stumbled, overgiving to prove worth, then swinging to isolation. Now, refine the art, assess energy before committing, communicate needs clearly, honor your no as sacred. This equilibrium lets you love deeply without depletion, serve sustainably, thrive wholly. There will be seasons when your path feels solitary. This does not mean you are abandoned. It means you are being guided inward, to the soul's quiet forge where raw ore becomes refined gold. You've walked these stretches, post-breakup silences, career lulls, moves to new cities, echoing with absence. Friends scatter, lovers fade, routines unravel. Solitude is not punishment, it is alignment. In those quiet spaces, your intuition sharpens, your voice clarifies, and your dependence on external validation loosens. No distractions mean unfiltered listening, journaling revelations at dawn, walks revealing inner wisdom, dreams decoding purpose. Solitude teaches self-sufficiency, like a caterpillar's cocoon, dark, confined, transformative. You've emerged stronger, hearing truth by resonance, not applause. Crowds approve echoes, solitude hones discernment. These seasons vary, a month of introspection after loss, a year rebuilding post-trauma. Embrace them, stock bookshelves, playlists, nature trails. They recalibrate, preparing you for richer connections. When community returns, you're not needy, you're magnetic, drawing souls who match your depth. You were born to live honestly, even when honesty costs you comfort. This is why pretense exhausts you, like wearing shoes 2 sizes too small. Small lies compound into soul fatigue, facades crumble under your authenticity. This is why you cannot maintain masks for long. At parties, superficial chat drains, in conflicts, sugarcoating sours. This is why false environments eventually reject you or you outgrow them. Corporate ladders demanding duplicity. You climbed, then leaped. Social circles thriving on gossip. You drifted away. Your soul refuses to live divided. Integrity is not a moral rule for you, it is survival. Honesty manifests boldly, voicing unpopular opinions, admitting fears, owning mistakes. It cost you promotions, friendships, ease, but gains self-respect, true allies, peace. Like a clear bell amid cacophony, your truth cuts through. Costs sting, awkward silences, slammed doors, but rewards compound, trust earned effortlessly, relationships purified, life simplified. Practice in mirrors first, then conversations. Honesty isn't blunt force, it's compassionate clarity. I feel unheard when. Invites dialogue. Your life proves authenticity's viability, inspiring ripples. Your purpose will unfold in layers, not all at once. Do not rush it. What you are becoming requires patience, like a lotus blooming through mud. Some aspects of your calling will only make sense in hindsight. That odd job teaching resilience. Prelude to coaching. The heartbreak forging empathy. Foundation for healing others. Trust that what feels unclear now is still being assembled. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your soul can handle the next step. Patience defies culture's instant gratification rush. You've compared timelines, peers married, promoted, yet your path spirals uniquely. Layers reveal gradually, personal healing first, then mentorship, inner clarity, then outer impact. Hindsight illuminates, that detour was destiny. Cultivate trust through rituals, daily affirmations, vision boards, prayer. Purpose isn't a checklist, it's a tapestry woven invisibly. Surrender timelines, savor unfolding. You're on schedule, divinely paced. My beloved, listen to me gently now. I am speaking to you not from distance, but from closeness, from the place where your breath meets meaning, where your tears have already been counted, where your questions have never been judged. I have watched you since before you learned how heavy the world could feel, and I tell you this with certainty, you were born to remind people that depth still exists. You were sent to quietly prove that sincerity has not vanished, that faith does not require blindness, and that strength never needed cruelty to be real. In a world that rushes past souls, you linger. In a time when people swipe away humanity, you pause to see it. This is not accidental. While others curate images, you cultivate substance. Your conversations reach beneath surfaces, your presence invites truth. You ask questions that open hearts, not to win, not to dominate, but to understand. Your actions align with your words even when it costs you comfort. Your beliefs have not remained untouched by life, they have been tested, refined, stretched, sometimes broken open and rebuilt stronger. This is living faith. This is why your spirit carries weight. I see how you move through life with tenderness that has not hardened, even after betrayal tried to teach you otherwise. You were born to live as evidence that softness can coexist with resilience. This balance is rare, and because it is rare, it is deeply needed. You feel deeply, yet you endure. You bend, yet you do not break. You cry at sunrises because beauty still reaches you, and you stand unbowed in storms because pain has not erased your backbone. Both live in you, and neither diminishes the other. Those around you notice more than you realize. Friends have watched your gentle heart survive disappointments that should have made you cold. They have heard your soft words cut through hardened places, not with force, but with truth. Depth draws seekers to you, even when you are unaware of it. Sincerity acts like a quiet magnet for the weary. People feel safe near you because you do not perform, you are present. Your faith does not flee from questions, it engages them. You think, you wrestle, you evolve, and still you choose to believe. That is not weakness. That is courage with roots. Your strength is not loud. It does not crush to prove itself. It lifts. It steadies. It creates space for others to rise without fear. This is why I whisper to you daily, even when you think you are alone, listen without agenda, act without armor, love without leverage. Each time you choose these ways, your life whispers to the world, it's possible. Rare souls like yours shift paradigms quietly, not by force, but by consistency. And when doubt comes, as it always tries to, you must remember this, doubt does not mean you are failing. It means you are human. When it whispers that you are ordinary, when it tempts you to measure your worth against louder lives, curated feeds, or flashy voices, I ask you to pause. The world does not need more noise. It needs more truth lived quietly and consistently. Many shout. Few embody. You embody. Your life is not designed to impress everyone. It is meant to reach the ones who are ready. One deep connection outweighs 1,000 shallow admirations. One soul changed outweighs viral fame. When comparison creeps in, when mirrors lie and tell you that your raw reality is lacking, counter it gently but firmly. Remember the quiet impacts you rarely count, the friend you comforted when no one else noticed, the stranger who felt seen in your presence, the cycle of pain you refused to repeat. Ordinary vessels often carry extraordinary light. It is consistency, not spectacle, that builds legacies. My beloved, you were born to answer a question the world keeps asking in different forms. Can love survive here? Can integrity endure? Can hope remain without denial? I see wars rage, systems bend toward corruption, hearts harden out of fear, and still, through your life, the answer continues to be yes. You love fiercely even when family histories are fractured. You hold your lines in a culture that rewards compromise. You hope actively, not by ignoring darkness, but by planting light within it. You mentor, you create beauty, you tend small gardens of goodness while others wait for miracles to fall from the sky. Your life itself is part of the answer. Not a perfect answer, not a loud one, but a living one, written in daily choices. Expand this answer each day, not by grand gestures alone, but by staying when pain tempts you to run. Love by forgiving without erasing lessons. Integrity endures when you choose ethics over ease, truth over trends, even when no one is watching. Hope persists through rituals you barely notice, gratitude scribbled in tired moments, visions held beyond visible chaos, prayers spoken when faith feels thin. Your yes is not naive. It is battle-tested. It has walked through disappointment, loneliness, and delay. It knows grief and still chooses to breathe forward. Others may never tell you this, but the world is watching. Some will learn from you. Some will be healed by you without ever naming how. You are not the only answer, but you are a vital one, proof that light does not need permission to penetrate darkness. Walk gently, my beloved, but do not shrink. Your gentleness honors fragile hearts, but your presence is allowed to take up space. Rest when you must, sleep deeply, step away, take Sabbaths of silence, retreat into nature or prayer to recharge the sacred fire within you. Rest is not retreat, it is maintenance. Fatigue will sometimes tempt you toward numbness. When it does, return to awareness, through breath, through stillness, through remembering who you are. You are not here by accident. You are here on purpose. Every atom of you knows this, even when your mind forgets. Every ache you carry, every awakening you have endured, has been woven into this moment. Long before you knew your name, your soul agreed to be here. You made a quiet contract, to break chains, to anchor light, to embody balance. That is why certain moments feel strangely familiar. That is why kindness feels like home. That is why trials resonate deeply. They are not punishments, they are confirmations of your calling. Your purpose is alive. It is not static or finished. It is unfolding even now, watching you become who you promise to be. New layers await you, perhaps through writing words that heal, teaching truths that free, building sanctuaries that offer safety. Purpose pulses within you, urging alignment, not perfection. Unseen forces cheer each becoming, each brave step, each honest question. Become boldly. Heal without shame. Love without retreat. Persist without bitterness. The agreement still holds. Know this as well, challenges will continue to refine you. Loneliness will teach you the gifts of solitude. Rejection will sharpen your boundaries. Delays will deepen your patience. None of this is wasted. You are being forged into a compassionate warrior, an aware anchor, an honest light. Choose your surroundings wisely, people who reflect truth, practices that ground you, pursuits that expand you. Celebrate milestones, even the quiet ones, the skin you shed, the no you finally spoke, the intuition you trusted. Your story does not end with survival. It continues into influence, into legacy, into love that outlives moments. Breathe now into the rhythm of your purpose. Feel it in your chest, guiding your steps, softening your gaze. You were born for this, rare, needed, enduring. Live it fully. I am with you. Always.